Good day, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope that everyone had a good week. I am Kathy W. Welcome to the August 15th chat. For anyone who is new, maybe take a minute to grab a cup of tea or coffee or your cool beverage and your yarn. These Friday videos sometimes share hints and tips, and they are always about crochet and knitting, occasionally a chat about yarn or our tools that we use, and always it is a place to grab our coffee and tea and have a visit. This week I got some yarn in the mail and waited to open the package so that we can open it together. Also, I completed 2 hat and scarf sets and started a crochet blanket. Let's start by looking at the yarn acquisition. This is from Expression Fiber Arts. I ordered it a while ago and was waiting for a pre-order to be made, so it was shipped on July 28th. So here we go, looking at the pretties that came from EFA. 2 of them I cannot show because they are birthday surprises for friends, and I know that they will be watching. So the rest of what came in this package I will show here. So let's see what's in this package. Now first off, this is some of my favorite yarn. It's called Moon Gleam Fingering, 50% cotton, 50% mulberry silk. And this is 1,600 meters or 1,748 yards. And it says hand wash only, lay flat to dry. This colorway is called Silhouette Hues. Let's open it and take a closer look. This is a treat for me. So here we go. There's 4. It's so soft. There's 4 colors in this package, and I'm hopeful that I can eventually make a top for myself with this. There's 3 colors. And the 4th one. I'm not sure if I will need all 4 colors. There. If you were making a top and needed 3 of the 4, which one would you leave out? That's the question for today. One of the questions for today. So that's in this package. Oh, wait. Let's see what else. I can show one of what's in here. The other 2 have to stay secret for friends' birthday presents. So the other one that I can show is this one. It is called Tea and Tides. It's uplift fingering, 85% superwash merino, 15% silk. It's also very, very soft. This is 336 meters, 400 yards. And again, hand wash only, lay flat to dry. There's the colors in this one. This will be the gift that we spin the wheel for on this month's Something New Make Along. So there we go. And the other 2 are top secret. I can't show them. So I'll set those ones aside. There we go. So that was the yarn that came in today's mail. Now this week, I finished a couple of items and was busy working on a couple of WIPs. Let's start with the works in progress. The first one is a blanket that I'm hoping will be the right size to send to Nancy for the Boggy Creek Blanket Drive. During August, Nancy has been starting to receive blankets, and this year's collection has begun. There have been a few people asking, what is Boggy Creek Camp and why are all these blankets getting collected? Anyone who is wondering about this blanket drive, this past Wednesday, there was a live on Lynann's channel. Her channel is Nina's Knots Crochet, and actually there is a live on somebody's channel every Wednesday. There is a link to Lynann's channel in the description box so that you can find all the details about this blanket drive, where blankets are collected, and where to send them. All the kids who go to Boggy Creek Camp have a medical condition, and the camp is staffed by doctors and nurses. All medical supplies needed by the children are at the camp so that the kids can enjoy their camp fully, and kiddos receive a hand-stitched blanket when they arrive, and they take that blanket home with them as a cozy reminder of the happy times that they had while at Boggy Creek Camp. Now, about these blanket donations, the size should be between 30 and 50 inches long and between 35 and 40 inches wide, or they can be a 40 by 40 inch square or 40 by 40 inch circle. Also, the blankets should be made with acrylic or cotton. Please, no animal fibers. Now, for this blanket that I started, I'm using a combination of Hirschner's Worsted 8, Deep Woods, which is the green, and Radiant Orchid, which is this color, and Bernat Super Value in the color Natural. The pattern for this blanket is called Bubblegum Kisses Baby Blanket by Jennifer Renaud, and I'm just going to continue on in this pattern until I reach the size that's needed by Boggy Creek. The free version for this pattern is on the blog, and there is a paid one available on Ravelry. And the colors that I chose for this one are garden colors, because this is my project for the Something New Make Along this month, done in colors you might find in a garden. And it continues. This is a new design for me because the pattern continues to grow on just one side here, and I'll alternate the colors as I go. For anyone who is working on their Something New Make Along project, just a quick reminder that this month's pictures should be emailed to me by August 29th, and the slideshow for the Something New Make Along will be on the first Monday of September, on September 1st. Now, one of the other works in progress that I've been busy with, this is the summer crochet along that I'm co-hosting with Judy. The pattern is the Honey Ripple Scarf designed by Burgundy Blush. I had a bit of a setback with this one. Unfortunately, I missed one of the rows and had to frog back quite a bit. Actually, I ended up having to frog back almost to here. Now things are going along quite smoothly. Now I'm back to where I was before the frogging. And now also a new development with this one is in the Brava yarn, which is the solid yarn that I'm using here. I found that I will need an extra skein of the Brava yarn, and so the silver, which is this color, I was running out of that to make the length that I want, and I did not have another skein of that dark gray in my stash. So I'm adding in another color called Brava Dove Heather, which is this lighter color. And the other one that I'm using for the stripes, these in here, this is called Loops and Threads Facets, and it's in the color Slate. The hook size for this one is a 5mm hook that I'm using. So I'm getting there. I'd say I'm about 2/3 of the way finished, and maybe I'll be finished this week. For the summer cal, please send your completed pictures to my email address by September 8th. And you can contact Judy or contact me with any questions. Now, for any of these make-alongs, I always reply to emails. If you have not received a reply, please try to send again or reach out to me in the comment area. I want to make sure that I include everyone in the slideshow who sends their pictures. Also, for anyone who is new, if you would like to find any patterns mentioned or any of the creators who I mentioned, there is always information about how to find them in the description box below. And now for the finished items this week. Last week I made a hat, and the colors are inspired by Crochet with Nona Rosanna's make-along. This month, the book cover inspiration is one written by Elizabeth Wine called Code Name Verity. And I'll put the book cover over here so you could see. I used the colors from the grass and the fence in choosing my yarn. This week I found a scarf in a stitch that highlighted the variegated yarn. For this one, I used a 6.5mm hook, and the yarn is the same as the hat. It's Nako Visin Anatolia, and the pattern is available for free from Olga Vogel from My Crochet Space. It is called the Crochet Men's Scarf Cool Ombre. The finished size of this scarf is 8 inches wide and about 64 inches in the length. And I'll pull it a little closer so you could see. The stitch pattern is, some people call it a moss stitch, or a linen stitch, or a granite stitch. So there's that. I think it turned out pretty well, and it's very gender neutral, so that's going to work out well when I donate it to Casting Off the Cold. And the next make along is one hosted by Judy from Judy's Creations in Crochet. She has a picture of a butterfly each month, and this month's butterfly has a couple of shades of purple. I chose a couple of yarns that are very close to the darker shade of purple, and I found a scarf pattern to go with the hat that I made last week. It has a shell pattern that in the scarf that I think highlights the shells along the brim of the hat. Now, the pattern for this scarf is called Urban Shells. It's by Catherine Crombie. There, I'll show the stitch pattern there. And it's got little shells at the bottom of the scarf as well. This pattern is a free download from Ravelry, and I increased the number of repeats by 1, so mine is slightly wider than the pattern calls for. If I had extra yarn, I would have made this one a bit longer. I used 1 skein of Mary Maxim Best Value, and I was able to make this scarf 7.5 inches wide, and it is about 56 inches long. The color of this yarn is Merlot. And for both of these, I did include the hat pattern down in the description box. And if you want details about the hat pattern, those are in last week's video. So many of you shared in the comments last week about summer events happening in your area, and also about activities that you enjoy both indoors and outdoors when you're setting your yarn aside for a while. And here are the ideas that you all shared. Now, as far as events to look for, these are yarn events that are upcoming. There's a Yankee Peddler Festival in Ohio, and that's coming up in September on the weekends. There's a Mary Maxim tent sale in Paris, Ontario, and that will be until September 7th. A fiber festival in Barrie, Ontario, and that's on August 23rd. In Kansas City, they're having a yarn crawl in September. Kitchener-Waterloo is having a fiber festival, and that's in Ontario. That's on September 13th. And there's something called Woolstock in Brinnbrook Fairgrounds on October 18th. Now, also, as when we set our crochet and knitting aside, some activities outside the home are visiting a friend at a yarn store, family reunions, gardening, going to the beach, having lunch with a friend, walking and hiking outdoors, those who have a dog bringing their pet for a walk, playtime with pets, shopping, even window shopping, enjoying time with grandchildren, baking and cooking, four-wheeling, kayaking, geocaching and relaxing, in the winter attending hockey games, riding snow machines and cross-country skiing, and indoors, when we set our crochet and knitting aside, a sewing and quilting, painting, making cards, junk journaling, taking care of indoor plants, playtime with pets, getting our watch to beep so we have a notice to get moving, working during our jobs, reading, diamond painting, gaming, especially on the Xbox, and yarn dyeing. Now, these ideas are also typed in the description box so that we can all print them off and maybe help each other with activities that we enjoy and try some new activities. Thank you so much for sharing ideas in the comments last week and helping each other. And now it is time to check for the chapter title for this week. This week I read what the author wrote about sharing your work, and I will share a few additional thoughts. Carrie's focus in this chapter was about selling things that one makes. And I'm curious, when you finish making items, do you sell things, or do you donate them, or do you gift them, or do you make things to enjoy personally? Now, these are my insights after I thought about what Carrie wrote about selling items. Although I do not have experience directly selling what I make, nor have I ever set up for craft shows. although I have always wondered about renting a table and giving it a try. I have provided crochet to be sold by others, some at church sales, and other things that were consigned at a farmer's market. The only thing that I can suggest when it comes to this chapter might be to provide items that are for the season you are in, or maybe for one season ahead, and also to have some items that sell equally well year-round. When it comes to selling items, I am much more of a purchaser than a seller. Oh, and if you would ever want to find a copy of this book to read Carrie's perspective about these 30 ways to ignite your creativity, the little spark, I typed a few places in the description box of where you can find a copy if you would like. Thank you everyone so much for being here, for sharing your comments and leaving your thumbs. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Enjoy your crochet, enjoy your knitting, and I hope to see you next video.